brakes are made out of cheese. I'll go for a soft cheese.
Yeah.
It smells like an engine. Okay. Look at the noise! Oh, that sounds awesome!
It's
oh
good,
my
isn't it?
god! 1990s!
1990s, baby.
And I think because the engine's right here, that is right? The engine is right here.
Yeah, just behind you here.
That's why it sounds so great. This is definitely a car you need to have the roof down on, right?
Yeah.
What's it like with the roof up?
You get a bit more of a cocoon sort of feel to it, you know, in terms of the ambience, if you like.
Of course.
But you do get a little bit of rattling from the roof rails and things because, you know, it's not designed to be driven with the roof up, really.
Of course.
Let's be brutally honest.
If you've got a car like this, it has to be roof down, right?
It has to be roof down.
Has to be
Why
roof
on
down.
earth would you drive this with the roof up?
I've only just jumped in, right?
Yeah.
Steering is heavy. Compared to the M2, compared to the MX5. That's mentally what I'm comparing this car to at the moment.
Yeah, and you have to, don't you? Because their ballpark price and everything else very, very similar, if you like, and they do the same sort of thing, but in very different ways.
I'm also comparing this car to a Z3 2.8. And this is nicer than that in almost everywhere. And I've only driven this for, what, 30 seconds. The pedal box is quite comfortable. The seating position is wonderful.
Right.
The steering, okay, it's old, just like the Z3 was, but this feels better, more polished. I don't know what the word is. More polished, probably.
Sophisticated?
Yeah, sophisticated. Yes, that's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Even the build quality is no rattles and shakes.
No.
Like little things like the carpet on the floor looks lovely. There's carpet on the door cards. That looks really nice. That's really soft. Okay, let's compare it to the MX5.
Yeah.
Fewer rattles and shakes. Of course, it's a convertible, so you got a little bit of the scuttle.
You feel that twisting, don't you, a little bit, yeah?
But this feels less than the MX5.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Okay.
This feels a little bit better put together.
People call this the poor man's Porsche, but I think in some ways they're right and in some ways they're wrong. Porsche designed this car in the 1990s when they were going through their financial hardship.
Right.
So in order to cut costs, they brought out a new platform, and this and the 911, which was twice the price, okay, are the same pretty much from around the seats forward. The binnacle's slightly different because in a 911 you get 5 dials effectively.
Right.
You get 2 half-moon crescents on the edges. In this you've only got the 3. That's why it feels so well made. It's been built properly.
Yes. It has been built properly. It's
What do you think of that sound? What it is, you see, is it has that 6-cylinder flat 6 howl. You're not going to find that in anything other than a Porsche. It's got that Porsche sound.
It does. But in the same way that BMW 6-cylinders have a certain specific sound.
To do. You drove my E24, didn't you?
Oh, that was a gorgeous car,
And when you listen to that engine,
yes,
and if you listen to a modern 3-litre BMW straight 6 engine, there is a DNA there, isn't there? There is something that sounds very similar.
this gives me so much more reward just cruising down at what, 50 miles an hour on a country lane.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel as sporty.
Right.
Again, I can't put my finger on why that is either.
Okay, we'll see if we can change that in a minute.
Okay then. Yeah. The thing is, I don't feel like pushing this car.
Okay.
Yeah,
and obviously within the speed limits.
Yeah.
See how it feels.
Okay.
And this road at 50 miles an hour, you're actually going as fast as you really can on this road, and that's the limit.
Let's leave it in second.
Yeah.
Hell. Oh, that's awesome. Power delivery is so mature. Sophisticated is the word that you use. It's not C63 Mercedes-Benz.
It's not BMW M.
No.
It's not MX5,
No,
revvy, no
very
torque.
rev happy, no torque, yeah.
The gearing is very long.
Really long.
Because in second gear, you were going up pretty much 50 miles an hour there, right?
Second gear, 50 miles an hour, and it still had more revs to go.
It could have gone a lot further.
Way more, yeah.
There's something incredibly refined about this car.
Refined. Very refined. Very, very well put together. They've thought about everything. It's a 911 history. It's there. They know what they're doing. Yeah.
It's there, isn't it?
Wave of power that it delivered. It is not scary.
No.
It doesn't need traction. Okay, I've not pushed it that hard, but it doesn't need traction control. Like I didn't once feel, oh my god, that was.
It hasn't
crazy.
got. It's not overly powerful.
How much power does this have?
248 brake horsepower.
Okay, it's all right, but for a small little car like this, but it's not
Yeah.
bags of power. Yeah.
No. Again, you've got a nice sweeping road here. Third this time.
Oh, so settled and planted.
It is, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. It's firm enough to be a sports car,
Yeah.
being so low and everything. But this is lovely ride. Like, it's not uncomfortable at all. I have no back pain.
No.
Nothing. Seats are really supportive.
And this road is very bumpy. This is a single
horrible
track
road, yeah.
road
Yeah.
that I use all the time.
Okay.
Everything in this car is sophisticated. The ride, really sophisticated. What do you think of the gear change?
It's like rowing a boat. It's a very, very long throw.
It's a very long throw.
Very long throw. I mean, I guess this is part and parcel of being a part of the 90s, right?
Yeah.
It's a 90s gear shift. You can tell it's old. It's not quite as snickety as the MX5, which is really
mechanical,
short, very
yeah,
mechanical. Really mechanical, yeah.
You see with this has cable linkages going all the way back.
Right.
Because the gearbox isn't underneath here.
Right. Oh,
like
okay.
it is in the MX5, right?
Right, it's not
So
directly in.
it's much further behind you,
Sure.
and in order to connect it, it's got cable linkages. So yeah, so we were talking earlier about Z3s. What other cars have you driven?
So MX5,
Yep.
of course, the NC, so the third generation, which is
Yep.
your one. Z3.
Yep.
I've driven Generation 1 Audi TT, Generation 2 Audi TT,
Yep.
Generation 3 Audi TT,
Yep.
Z4,
Yep.
not an M. I know you've got an M, but
Yeah.
not the M.
You haven't driven that yet, but
no.
you will do. Yeah,
Oh,
but-
MR2. I've driven an MR2.
Yeah, you've driven an MR2.
Yeah.
So they're all within the same sort of price range, aren't they,
Yeah.
of this car?
Yeah, so very
So I'm
similar.
going to ask you a very pointed question then.
Okay.
All right. What do you think of this compared to those?
For sporty driving, I think the MX5 is the best.
Okay.
I can't put my finger on why.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bit more chuckable. It's just a little bit more chuckable.
Even more than the Z4?
Yeah. Z4 was good,
Yeah.
but
The
again,
MX5 is a different level of engagement,
yeah,
isn't it?
the Z4 again is a bit more like this. It's not a sports. It is a sports car, but it's not a sporty driving car.
Yeah.
It's more of a cruise mobile.
It's more comfortable when you're cruising around in it
Sure.
at 7/8 tenths.
Yeah.
Whereas the Mazda MX-5, you want to drive that at 10 tenths all the time.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
just an animal.
That's so much fun to drive. There's so much feedback, so much engagement.
You've driven an S2000.
That's right. S2000, yes, yes.
How does this compare to an S2000?
Again, that's Japanese and revvy.
Yeah.
You have to really ring it to get the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas this,
Sophistication, eh?
30 miles an hour, cruising round.
Yeah.
This you get less feedback from this. The steering wheel is very, very wide, so you're driving a bus.
It's a big wheel, isn't it?
Big
And it's
wheel.
a slightly slower turn.
Really slower. It's a heavy turn.
Yeah.
It's
The
a slower,
brakes?
heavy turn. The brakes are made out of cheese. I'll go for a soft cheese.
Yeah.
They take some time to get used to what's going on underneath your foot.
Not
You
as
do have to push
grabby as
them.
your M2, because that's what you're used to, aren't you?
Of course, I'm used to an M2 for
Yeah.
sure. But I mean, even the MX5, they felt reasonably modern, but it is a newer car.
It's a newer car, yeah. Newer design.
Newer design. This is quite old. It feels, like your 6 Series, like that.
It's got that feel, hasn't it? The way
Yeah.
the pedals work and
The way the
everything.
pedals
That
work.
quality is there, and you can really feel the quality.
Most
So if I ask you then, is there anything so far from what you've seen on this car that
Yeah.
you don't like, that you think is really bad?
No.
You might regard this as being a poor man's Porsche, and I can understand why,
Yeah.
but it's only when you drive it with the roof down, and it doesn't matter whether it's the 2.5 or 2.7 or the 3.2. It doesn't matter whether it's facelift, pre-facelift. It doesn't matter whether it's, if you can get your hands on the 550 Spider, the final edition, the 50th anniversary model. These cars are built by people who know how to build sports cars, like I said in my previous video. And there's something incredibly sophisticated about the way they go about doing their thing. I would say if you've got £7,000 to £10,000 to spend on a sports car, if you don't consider one of these, you're missing, I think, the biggest bargain
Yeah.
that you're ever going to find.
For sure.
I don't know how long prices are going to stay the way they are. And I know there were a lot more of these than there are 911s, so you can't expect prices to go through the roof. But there will come a point where people will begin to realise that you are getting almost a Porsche 911 experience. In some ways, I think handling-wise, this is better.
Lighter.
Yeah, for half the money or less. It makes it compelling. They can be expensive to run if you're not careful, these cars, right?
Yeah.
So this one is totally sorted.
Right.
It doesn't need anything doing.
It feels so sorted. It feels brilliant. Yeah, yeah.
68,000 miles on the clock.
Okay.
You wouldn't think it, would you?
68. Yeah, look, 68,000. Yeah, no, not at all.
You wouldn't think it, would you?
No.
So what I would say is this really, I think for anybody watching this video, is if you're thinking about getting a sports car, drive all of them and leave this till the end.
So, I mean, just out of interest, if you're going to buy one of these cars, what sort of things should you be looking out for?
Very good question. If you want to see the buyer's guide for the Porsche Boxster 986, then click on the tiles that appear in front of you now. Otherwise, thanks Dhroov for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Go and enjoy some sun.
30 miles an hour, cruising round,
Yeah.
and you feel important.
You feel like an imposter.
You do.
You feel like a millionaire when you're not.
You do.